It's time for the award-winning talk show Up Front with your host, Larry Kratka.
Good morning and welcome to Up Front for a Friday. I am he who that man said. And this morning I've got a guy not with one first name, but two. His name is Paul Mark, and for some reason he has decided that he wants to run to be a state representative for the 2nd Berkshire District, and that is a big district. And Paul Mark is with me. Good morning, sir.
Hello, thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Nice to have.
And I was trying to explain to him how this is going to work. It's a conversation between you and I. And I know a lot of people may have heard the name Paul Mark. They, and especially if you don't live in the 2nd Berkshire District, you say, who the hell are these people? We're going to fix it this morning because we're going to tell people who you are. You're going to explain who you are. Why don't we start right there? Who are you, and where do you come from, and where do you live?
Okay, Paul Mark is a telephone payphone repairman who lives in Hancock with his wife Cassandra. And in the time, I've worked at the phone company for 10 years now, and in that time I've put myself through 5 college degrees, including a master's degree at UMass, a law degree at Suffolk in Boston, and a doctorate in law and policy at Northeastern. So I'm also an attorney in my spare time.
So wait a minute, you work for the phone company, but you're an attorney in your spare time?
Yeah, I took the bar exam last July, and I passed.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I was sworn in December, and then I got married in December, and then I went away on my honeymoon, and then I came back, and I was going to start getting into more legal stuff, and then Dennis Geyer announced he wasn't running, so instead I got into this.
All right. One thing leads to another. Okay, you got married in December.
Yeah.
All right, so you're still on your honeymoon, basically.
Yeah.
All right, so you got married in December. And did your bride-to-be know that you had any political aspirations?
I think she did, because I've been working on political campaigns since I was about 16 years old, at every different level of government. I've been elected to serve my coworkers in my union, the IBEW, and I've also chaired a state-level political action committee for the IBEW. So I think she knew I was involved.
She knew, yes, but when you come, hi, honey, what's for dinner? Oh, by the way. Now, wait a minute. You sat down and talked it over with her. Your blushing bride. You talked with her, and she gave you the green light. Whatever you want to do, it makes you happy, that kind of thing.
She thought I would be good at it. She said, "This is what you've been working for." I don't think she realized that we'd be standing at the dump of each town for the next 3 months.
I got to tell you something, Paul. This amazes me, because you're not the first candidate to come in here and tell me that we're at the landfills. Yeah. Wait a minute. So you've been knocking on doors? Yes, but we go out to the. You go out to the landfill. You go out to the dump.
That's how we started. You have to get signatures to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you stand at the gate and go, "Hi, I'm."
Well, if you're in Plainfield, there's not really a grocery store to stand at, so you stand at the town dump, and as people come and throw their trash away, you say, "Hi, can I get you to sign to get on the ballot?" And they'll be like, "Well, who are you? What do you stand for?" And they get into it. So
they get into it, and they go home and they say, "Honey, I found a politician at the dump." And she goes, "Yeah, okay." No, but really, and you talk about Plainfield, the 2nd Berkshire District, and I've always been fascinated about the size of the 2nd Berkshire District, because Dennis Geyer used to come in here and talk about problems happening off somewhere, and then Sean Kelly used to come in here and talk about something else. It is an enormous.
It is. It's the biggest geographically in the entire state. It's 22 communities, 21 towns, and one Ward 1B of Pittsfield. We've done 25,000 miles on our car in 6 months campaigning.
Wow. Yeah. But still, you're going from the New York border, and you're going all the way to the New Hampshire border,
exactly.
In towns like, folks, Berkshire. And if you say it wrong, you're not allowed in. But you got Berkshire, Northfield. That's right on the New Hampshire border, and it does. And by the way, and I didn't know this, but the 2nd Berkshire District does not include Greenfield. I thought it did, but it doesn't. Yeah, it kind of goes around it.
Yep.
Then you have these little towns like
Leiden, Coleraine. Yeah.
Have you been up there?
Yeah, I've been to every single town.
Really? Every single one?
Yeah, and I actually had been to most of them before the campaign started because of working at the phone company. You get transferred all over the place. They send you a day at a time. I had to work in Brattleboro for 4 months, so we used to go up, and every day we take a different way back. Sometimes we go through Coleraine, sometimes we go through Greenfield, sometimes do Conway, So,
yeah. So you experience a real lay of the land.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, plus, you could fix phone lines. Dennis Geyer used to say that half the time they don't work at the State House. So you'll be a handy guy. But so you started out with the the landfills. And basically, you've been going door to door, but you've been setting things up. Have you been meeting with selectmen or town administrators throughout the towns? Is that how you've been doing it?
We did a lot of that early on in February and March. You kind of get a feel for people. You're trying to find the more active people in the town, because a lot of this is word of mouth. So if you met Mr. Democrat in Coleraine, he's going to go around and tell all his friends, and then people are going to have a favorable impression of you.
Right.
And then, you moved on into, you go to town fairs and the Cummington Fair this weekend, things like that.
You're going to be up there, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And and you also go door to door, like you said. Now you make phone calls, so we got phone banks going. So everyone that's already starting to get annoyed, sorry, but people have to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the internet helps a great deal. Although, not a lot of broadband on
not in most
in
of
the hills with their dial-up, but still. Yeah. But I suppose meeting you, like I am now. I mean, I met you at
Relay for Life.
Relay for Life. Yeah, I met you there. And he's talking to me, and I've got a million things going through my head. But I met you there. So you've been on the road doing this the whole time while doing your job?
While working.
While working.
I'm off today, but I go in tomorrow.
Spare time.
Yep.
Yeah. Boy, you've been busy.
Yeah. But like I said, I worked and I went to school too, and I overlapped my degrees.
Okay, so what's the fascination with being a state representative? I mean, what do you want to do?
I want to make a difference, and the big thing I want is other people to have the same opportunities for success that I've had. The only reason I'm a lawyer, I have these degrees, I own my own house that I bought my own money when I was 24 years old, is because I have this really great job at Verizon, and I don't see a lot of jobs like that around anymore. In Verizon, they're constantly laying people off. It's dying, and it's a shame, and it needs to stop.
But you're going to give up a job at Verizon to be a politician.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, the life expectancy of I don't know. I can't say that because Sean Kelly was in there for 10 years. Dennis was in there for quite a while. Yeah. So, you can be reelected, but still, it's not something you base your retirement on.
No, but it's something great that you can do while I'm still young enough and I have the energy. And then if I like it and people like me and I keep moving up, or I just stay in the same position for a long time, that would be great. If it doesn't work out that way, then I'll do other things involved trying to help people, even as a lawyer. Now,
you mentioned that you've been involved with the union.
Yep.
Union issues and negotiations, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
What have you learned from that you can maybe apply to being a state representative?
The biggest thing I learned from that is that companies and workers need to work together to get things done instead of just fighting. I mean, and also that while we have to respect, you have to respect the right of workers to make a fair wage. It's like at Verizon, they are constantly trying to lay people off, but they make billions of dollars every year, and it's just wrong. And the CEO makes $20 million, and they're telling us that, you should pay 10% more for your health care. And I don't understand how that's where we save money, especially when the company is making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. To me, that doesn't make sense.
They do make a few bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing because you brought up healthcare, because that's one of the things. After the break, we're going to talk about issues. We'll get into that. Right now, we're just getting to know you.
Okay.
Put a name with a face and everything. And so you've been out and about. Now, one of the biggest communities, I think, is Dalton.
Yep.
Okay, and you're from Hancock, so you're not too far off the beaten track here.
Right.
So have you been in Dalton, shaking hands, kissing babies, things like that?
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. The he works for Verizon. He wants to. I can't figure that out. But then again, no. Then again, listen, it's something you want to do. Okay.
Right.
But now if it were up to me, okay, I would not run for office because it's a lot of work. But then again, it sounds like you're not afraid of a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of the work. But
the guy's got how many degrees?
Yeah, the work is the best part of it, and talking to people is really good. And just the amount of things you learn that you never would have thought about is just amazing. There's a lot of bad stuff, but what are you going to do? You got to.
What have you learned? Talking to people at the landfills and meeting with town officials and stuff. What have you learned about the Second Berkshire District? Is there a lot of room for improvement, and if so, where?
What I've learned is that a lot of people have the same concerns about jobs, education, and healthcare. Definitely, I've learned a lot about the environment, and the thing I learned the most about that I didn't know a lot before is actually about farms and farming, because farmers are a big constituency in this district.
Yeah.
So you
they
learn
really
a lot
are.
about that.
And there's a lot of farms around here, although the dairy farms are going the way of the high button heels. That's too bad. But there is a lot of farms. I mean, once you get out, you start going up on Route 9 or Route 8, or you start going up anywhere in that vicinity, and that's all you see.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's some beautiful farms. I love to drive to Cummington.
Yeah.
There's some gorgeous, gorgeous places up there. But they have a lot of issues as far as environmental issues go. One of the big things is the wind energy. Now, I know we're getting into issues before. We're up to break time anyway. I tell you what, we're going to talk about issues. We're going to talk about the energy, talk about wind farms.
Okay.
Talk about what you think about that stuff. We're going to talk about a lot of other things. So stick around as we continue with Paul Mark here on Up Front. We'll be right back.